this game is always full of surprises. That is one reason I still play. Recently, Return of Reckoning yielded another such offering, a surprise which allowed me, for a few days at least, to go forth and enjoy a unique type of game-related fun. However, before we get to that, a quick movie review. I do think that Sucker Punch was a better movie than it's generally given credit for. If you haven't seen it, take the time. If you have, it may be worth a second look. It's a lot deeper than most people think. Now that that's over with, a quick look at another issue. The Garden of Co-op has opened for business. I am fully aware the name Co-op, or App, however you say it, refers to the the god of subtlety and snakes in that Nehekaran place, particularly cobras. However, to me the name doesn't sound as much Nehekaran as it does Klingon. I mean, really, a statue to Kalis sitting next to all the Nehekarian icons wouldn't be out of place at all.
The house of Cossack is gone. For the time being, it will be known as the house of Quark. Quark.
In regard to the actual dueling to be found within the Garden of Quark, apparently the system is designed to allow for duels up to a certain point, at which time you get teleported out of the battle arena and back to the gallery where the Anubis guards instantly kill you. I don't know. I appreciate the effort that went into this. I mean, I really do. But I have to wonder what the fundamental difference is between a duel held here and a duel held in the flatlands of the Chaos Waste. Other than in the Chaos Waste, there are no Lord Guards waiting to insta-death anyone who enters into a duel. We will see how it unfolds over time. Oh, by the way, fighting this guy was gross. I mean, seriously. Did you guys see where his ad creatures were spawning from? You have to wonder about some people's idea of fun. On to the issue at hand. As you all know, back on June 10th, a new set of patch notes were released. Included was a new set of weapons tied to fortress assaults and the accumulation of invader medallions. As it just so happened on the day of release, I had enough medallions to purchase one of these weapons. Therefore I logged in and entered the palace to pay the dwarf. The thought of that I found somewhat strange. For the High Elf Greatsword. Allow me to state that again. I paid the required price to purchase the High Elf Greatsword. This is the weapon I received. The High Elf Meat Cleaver of Doom. Now in truth, I thought this rather cool. Sure, I made a few jokes about it in region chat and posted about it on the forums, and I knew being issued a meat cleaver constituted nothing more than a simple coding error on someone's part, and eventually it would get sorted out. But in the meantime, I decided to have a bit of fun. What follows is a series of video clips captured during those few days I was armed with the High Elf Meat Cleaver of Doom. At the time, I didn't know how long I would retain possession of said meat cleaver, and consequently wanted to make use of it while I could. Admittedly, it took a little getting used to. The associated animations while in the attack were those of an S&B spec swordmaster who wasn't using a shield, as opposed to a two-hand spec swordmaster using a greatsword. Thus they initially impaired my timing, as I had never played as an S&B swordmaster who wasn't using a shield. Or perhaps, more importantly, as a two-hand spec swordmaster using a meat cleaver. The ether dance animation was truly fascinating. This video is sponsored by Canyon Arrow.
Canyon Arrow! No! Canyon Arrow!
And by 6 seconds of a GoDaddy commercial I lifted from YouTube. One more item before we begin with the primary video. To my knowledge, I am the only Swordmaster player on the server who was issued and thus was able to utilize the dreaded High Elf Meat Cleaver of Doom. Sure, someone else may have been issued one as well, but if so, they didn't make any noise about it. Therefore, I will logically conclude I am the only player on the server to have been so blessed. For the 3 days I had the High Elf Meat Cleaver of Doom in my possession, I had a blast fighting with it. Consequently, I hope you enjoy the remainder of my video.
Come tear the house down. Come on and twist. Yeah, baby, twist. Ooh, yeah. Just like this. Come on, little miss. And do the twist. Yeah. You should see my little sis. You should see my little sis. She really knows how to run. She knows how to twist. Come on and twist. Yeah, baby, twist. Ooh, yeah. Just like this. Come on, little miss. And do the twist. Yeah. That's all right. Yeah. Twist all night. Twist. watches, 'cause I'm a wanderer. Yeah, a wanderer. I roam around, 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 around. Oh, well, I roam from town to town. I go through life without a care. And I'm as happy as a clown. I with my two fists divine, but I'm going nowhere. Oh, yeah, I'm the type of guy that likes to roam around. I'm never in one place. I roam from town to town. And when I find myself falling for some girl, yeah, I hop right into that car of mine. I drive around the world. Yeah, I'm a wanderer. Yeah, a wanderer. I roam around, 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 around. Letting go, I'm letting go. Oh, yeah, I'm the type of guy that likes to roam around. I'm never in one place. I roam from town to town. And when I find myself falling for some girl, I hop right into that car of mine. Drive around the world, 'cause I'm a wanderer. Yeah, a wanderer. I roam around, 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 around. 'Cause I'm a wanderer. Yeah, a wanderer. I roam around.
Stay on target. Stay on target. Stay on target.
She blinds everybody with a super high beam. She's a squirrel, squash a deer, smack a driving machine. Canyonero. Canyonero.
nothing new. You went out on me, so other girls did it too. You can leave, little girl. I don't want you around no more. If you come knocking, you won't get past my door. Yeah. You got nothing to hide. Everybody knows it's true. Too bad, little girl. It's all over for you.
Okay, I think that's all I'm going to put in this particular video because, yeah, it's kind of a specific topic, and I've put enough in to make the point. But you know, while I do the exit dialogue here, just a little bit of slow-mo. Once again, using the meat cleaver, and I have to admit that using this thing was kind of fun. I really did enjoy it. It was, again, it was unique. It was a unique experience in the game to be running around with this basically a chopper weapon, and you know, using the meat cleaver of Doom as a two-hand weapon. It was fun. And I have since, of course, you know, that a hotfix went through, and I have the appropriate two-hand sword now. But this was, like I said, it was unique. It was fun, and I appreciate you guys looking in on the video. One more quick topic here. Some of you may be aware that I've been under some stress lately, and you know, some of you will know the reason for that. And it sort of bled over into some of my posting on the forums. So if anybody took offense to anything I put on the forums, I do apologize. It's just, it's a rough period, and I'm trying to find diversion where I can. But I appreciate your time as always. I do appreciate you watching the video, and I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.
There are three basic styles of these things. The first one is this really heavy, thick-bladed, kind of axe-like Western style.
That's what
meat
you think
cleaver.
of when you think meat cleaver.
This is the classic American meat cleaver.